Welcome to the Bruce Bolt Podcast, where we talk with baseball's best and brightest. I'm joined by the illustrious Bear Mayer, founder and CEO of Bruce Bolt. Bear, I feel you've graced us with your presence again. You're back.
Chris, you got to stop saying that every time I'm here. I'm like,
you leave.
We do this all the time.
You go places and then you come back, and maybe for those.
You and I do a podcast every week with each other.
Well, it's not every week. It's not every week. I hope that it could be in the future, you know.
Some point.
The deal is you travel. I
do.
So much. You've been to a few places.
I have been to a few places.
And the Bruce Bolt community's been wanting to know what's been going on. Can we get a report? We've heard rumblings, we've heard things, and now you're sitting down here with everybody, and we kind of want to hear what's going on. Where have you been as of late?
Well, I started off. I'll name you the four cities.
Tell me the four.
That I was at. Okay, I went to Chicago. Then I went to Queens, and then I ended up in San Diego.
San Diego,
or as they say, San Diego.
As
just kind of depends on your accent.
Might say San Diego.
Yeah.
So let's just start from the jump. Bring us into Boston. What was going on in Boston?
Yeah. So Boston, actually, this year we partnered with NECBL.
Love the NECBL.
New England Collegiate Baseball League, for anybody who doesn't know. We partnered with them. It was our first time ever doing something like this. Actually, one of the coaches, his son is in the Dodgers organization. Oh. So his son reached out to him and was like, "Hey, Dad, you should go and check out Bruce Bolt, see if they want to, sponsor the league." And that's how it came to be. They reached out to us. They're like, "Hey, that's the story." Son was like, "Hey, Dad, you should do this." So we got up there. First day we were there, we went and caught a Red Sox game.
Nice.
There's Red Sox Mets. It's really fun. We've got Jaron Duran on the Red Sox, and then on the Mets we've got McNeil and Nimmo. Which, it was so fun to always go see those guys play. McNeil and Duran actually hit bombs that game.
Seriously?
Yeah, they did. They went yah.
I wonder if that's like a Bruce Bolt record of some sort. Two players, opposing teams, wearing the gloves in the MLB.
And both hitting a home run
in the same game.
It could be. We could do research on it for sure.
Could be a historic moment.
Yeah, no, definitely could. So we went to that game. It was fun. Great. We actually, before that game, they've got that bar in the back of Fenway. It's in the outfield. It's like a restaurant.
Yeah.
So we went and chilled out there. It was cool environment. You got all the Red Sox fans go there before the game, so it was packed. Literally couldn't move 5 feet.
A Boston Red Sox experience.
Mm-hmm. Boston Red Sox experience, but it was cool because you see right out on the field. You were field level, obviously.
It's you, so you can see.
Yeah, no, you're out on the field. Like, you are like inches away from the dirt. If you are
really?
Did that and then went to the game. Game happened. The next morning, we kind of we got to just have a nice little chill morning. I think we showed up to the NECBL event mid-afternoon, maybe like afternoon, 12-ish. We got to...
What was going on?
So what was going on is I went and met with... There's 13 teams in the league. And of those teams, this was the All-Star Game. So they picked their All-Stars. So you had the East and the West. And so they had the two teams separated. And obviously the league was sponsored by us this year. They all had our batting gloves on. So I spoke to both teams kind of like... Just briefly, like maybe 2 minutes, just kind of before, because they wanted me to. I don't know how much those guys wanted me to talk to them, but the commissioner wanted me to talk to him.
I'm picturing Deion Sanders in front of the Colorado Buffaloes.
I don't know if I was I don't think I was that inspiring.
Did you fire him up? Did you call your shot? Pointed out in left field like Babe Ruth.
Well, I didn't fire him up. I kind of just went and introduced myself, and then thanked him for
Fair enough.
Wearing our gear, and I said hey, you guys want NIL deals or anything, just reach out to us. We'll see what we can do. And give them the opportunity to be a Bruce Bolt athlete.
So these are college players.
They're college players, D1, D2,
and they're playing in a summer league in New England.
Yep, we were there for the home run derby.
Nice.
It was me, Courtney, Kyle, and Christy were there. We actually made our picks before the home run derby started, who we thought was going to win.
Wow.
My guy won the whole thing.
Let's go, baby.
He actually goes to Penn State.
Really?
Yeah, he's a Nittany Lion.
How were you able to ascertain that, to guess that correctly? Did you see a little BP, or you just kind of...
No, I just kind of looked at him and said, "That's a big kid. I'm going to pick him."
He's yoked.
He was big. So my guy ended up winning. which is cool. I got to hand him a gold pair of batting gloves. You know, that was his trophy. He got like a bat and a pair of batting gloves was his trophy. And then during the All-Star game, I actually went down and did an interview during the third inning. It was on ESPN Plus, I think.
Let's go, ESPN.
Yeah, so that was cool. You know, a little nerve-wracking, obviously, it's live TV.
Yeah.
But we did it. We got it done. We got her done. We did it. Okay?
Was that your first time being interviewed on ESPN?
On ESPN, yes. Live TV, no. Second time live TV. Remember when we went to New York?
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember it well. It was a great experience for me. I didn't have to be on the live TV at the
No,
time.
you didn't. You didn't have to feel the stress of it.
So I wasn't as stressed as you were. But, you know, hey, being on ESPN, that's another historic moment. Feel like you can etch that one in, you know.
For sure.
That's good. That's a great experience.
Yeah, it was a good experience. So that was Boston. You know, the rest of the day we got to spend just hanging out. And then the next morning, here we go, the lead up to the next part.
Yeah,
the next morning,
the
next morning, Kyle, Christy, and Courtney, we get to the airport and they head off to their terminal. I'm over to the next terminal. I'm over at Terminal B, their Terminal A.
Why?
I'm headed to Chicago. They're headed back to Austin, Texas.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I had to hop on my little flight to Chicago.
Yeah, you were solo.
Yeah, I was solo dolo on that one.
Solo.
Yeah, but the good news was Kanata actually came and met me.
He always comes through in the clutch.
He does.
I feel like.
He does.
Very reliable
he
guy.
came and met me in Chicago.
And who is Alex Kanata?
Alex Kanata is my best friend.
Let's go, best friend.
I mean, I've known him since kindergarten. I think it's safe to say he's my best friend.
That's a long time.
Oh, it is a long time. You know, I'm surprised I haven't gotten sick of him at this point.
Did you guys ever get in a fist fight?
No, never been in a fist fight.
See, that says a lot about your friendship.
Yeah, I think so too, Chris.
So Kanata came and met you in Chi-Town.
He met me in Chicago. The reason we were in Chicago is we actually started this last year, but we work with our players and their team to do what we call our starter glove. We send them about 250 pairs, and we work with underserved communities to, you know, get those kids some batting gloves and, you know, get them decked out so that they can go play some baseball.
Love it.
So that's why we're in Chicago. We were actually, because I didn't want to go back to Austin because it was pointless to go back to Austin, fly to Chicago.
Right.
We were in Chicago for a full 3 days.
Oh, wow.
So we got there. Obviously, the event wasn't until the third day. We got there, and, you know, we explored a little bit. First night we were there, we actually went and saw a Cubs-White Sox game.
Oh.
Big rivalry.
Big rivalry.
It's crosstown.
Was it on the south side?
South side.
On
South
the
side.
south side. I see.
So, you know, we went and saw I think it's Guaranteed Rate Field.
I think so.
I think so. So we went there. It was a good game. It was fun. It was actually really good. Cubs had a lead, whatever inning it was. I think 8th. I think they had like a 4-run lead, let's say. I can't even remember. All I know is that the bases were loaded for the White Sox, and if they hit this home run, they either tied it or took the lead.
Ooh.
And the outfielder, I think it was, I'm probably gonna butcher Suzuki. I'm not actually sure.
Okay.
I can't remember his last name for the life of me, and I'm sorry about that. But he absolutely robbed a tank.
Oh, you robbed it.
Just nonchalant.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was pretty fun.
It sounds fun.
It was good.
And again, there with the White Sox and the Cubs, we got a couple players on each side. Is
We
that
got
right?
Benny. We got Benny on the White Sox.
Benny for the White Sox.
Benny for the White Sox, and then we got Mr. Happ.
Mr. Happ.
Mr. Happ is our Cub.
I mean, I like that. I was hoping to hear they both homered. In
They
that
did not
game,
both
the same,
homer.
but you know.
I think Ian had a couple hits that game.
Okay.
Yeah. No. So then, you know, that day came and went. Next day we went exploring. Went and saw the Bean.
The Bean.
I think it's
you gotta go
I
to
think
the
it's
Bean.
Centennial Park is what it's called.
I think so.
I think so.
If you go to Chicago, you got to take a picture in front of the Bean. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean the Bean is like, if you don't see it, did you really go to Chicago?
You got to see the Bean.
So then, you know, we saw the Bean. We went to, I believe, the world's largest Starbucks.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 7 stories.
Stop.
Yeah,
It's
like
7 stories.
Yeah, they got like a science center, like the science of coffee. They got just the store. They've got like the lounge where like they make you espresso martinis and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they literally have everything, and then you can go like, I don't know. There's so many floors. I don't even remember what all of them were.
That is that's a giant Starbucks.
Oh, it was real big.
Biggest one in the world.
I don't know if it's the biggest in the world, but it's the biggest I've ever seen.
I've never seen a Starbucks that's more than 1 floor.
Neither have I.
So 7 is
But it was big. And then yeah, we just kind of explored downtown Chicago. Then here's the part that we don't love.
well, yeah. We'll give us.
We'll get to the part that everyone's been looking for, the giveaway.
That's what we've been waiting on.
Next morning we wake up. It's giveaway day. We're
It's
amped.
giveaway.
We're ready to go. It starts pouring.
Say it ain't so.
It is so. And we get an email shortly after the event's canceled because they can't
Oh.
safely transport the kids to Wrigley Field just because too much rainfall, which is completely understood. Hoping that we can get it rescheduled here pretty soon.
Ouch.
But it was just, yeah, because then we're sitting in our Airbnb the rest of the day, just kind of like, well,
What do we do now?
we leave for New York tomorrow.
Wow. So this was, we're like Johnny build up to the third day here. We're going to Wrigley. The kids are coming. We got the gloves, and then we got rained out. I guess that happens in baseball.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get it rescheduled.
That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're talking with them about. So
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought up the giveaway. That was the purpose in going. I have to say, as a man of culinary tastes, I was kind of wondering if perhaps you might have had a famous Chicago deep dish pizza while you were there. I mean, it's just it's a thing. It's like the bean.
Yeah, no, we absolutely did have Chicago deep dish pizza.
Hey, can we get the rating, the story? What happened?
Yeah, so we were downtown. We went and got, I don't remember the name of the pizza place, but it was highly rated.
Okay.
We went, and I might upset a lot of people here.
Oh no! Controversy gets views.
I took a bite of that pizza, and
A
I
bite.
thought, okay, this is pretty good.
A single
It's
bite.
a little. Well, I ate a piece.
Okay.
I ended up eating a whole piece, but by that third bite, I was like, is this almost done? I'm in pain. I just don't.
What happened?
It doesn't hit like a New York pizza does.
It does.
New York makes the best pizza in the world, and it's not even close.
Seriously.
Maybe in the U.S. I've never been to Italy, so I can't say on that one. But New York pizza beats Chicago's at 10 times out of 10.
Not even close.
It's not even 9 times out of 10. It's a 4-game sweep.
And
it's not like you're losing close games. You're losing by 30.
You're just
each
getting
game.
bombed.
You're getting bombed. Get off the court. Go to the G League is basically what. I mean,
So, can we just step back here a little bit?
can I just say it's like Justin Verlander pitching to a 14-year-old.
That's a pretty apt description here of what you're bringing out.
I'm getting a little fired up.
Could it be that you're just a fan of thin crust, with a little fold? And could it be?
I mean, I guess it could be.
It could be.
I mean, that's 100%.
It's a thick pie.
It's a thick boy. It's like
It is.
and it's just like why do we have that much?
It's got heft.
It's got a lot of heft to it.
It's got heft.
It's got a lot,
to
and it feels hefty in your tummy.
I bet it does.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say tummy. That was, but it's hefty.
It's hefty.
Kanata and I finished a piece and a half each, and then we had to get out of there. And
Wow.
yeah, I had to lay down after that one.
It's time for a nap.
Oh, it was nap time, and that nap was 4 hours.
Deep dish pizza equals 4-hour nap.
Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. And then yeah, so Chicago came and went. We had our deep dish.
Okay.
I'm very confident in my answer of New York wiping the floor with Chicago.
New York's on top.
Yeah. I mean, cool city. Don't get me wrong. Chicago is great city, cool city.
Great game. Can let's just take a moment and say much love to Chicago.
Much love to Chicago.
Much
we
love.
We love
Chicago.
those guys.
We love Chi-Town.
There's 3 cameras. I don't know which one I'm looking at.
There's 3 cameras. We look at all the cameras, I mean, in front of our live studio audience here. I mean, we never recognized that we have a live studio audience today,
Yeah.
but they are here, meaning there are multiple people in the room right now, basically.
Other than us, there's a singular person. in this
Okay,
room.
which is still multiple. There's 3 of us.
There's a live studio audience, aka Carson.
So we leave Chicago.
We leave Chicago.
You went to New York.
We head to
Back to the East
LaGuardia.
Coast. LaGuardia.
LaGuardia.
I don't have a good accent on that, but
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try that.
So what happened? You get back to New York.
So we're in the city. We're staying in Queens because we're going to
Meet the Mets.
exactly. we're going to the Mets. We're gonna go to Citi Field the next day. So we get there, just kind of chilling out, going explore New York. We went into Manhattan.
Lots to explore there.
Yeah, we kind of checked out Manhattan for a little bit. Came back. We were exhausted though. We were wiped. So we went, just spent a quick day in New York. But then the next morning was the Mets with Brandon Nimmo. And what the Mets do is they have this little, I think they actually started it this year, but they call it the Junior Mets. And basically, I think it was about 100 kids.
Really?
It was a week-long camp, and they finished their camp at Citi Field. Oh. So the kids get to go and play at Citi Field.
That's cool. And
so it was super cool to, just get to see all these kids. And yeah, so there was lunch for everyone. We set out our gloves on a table along with like some plaques that they had for like congratulations on being a junior Met plaque, or I believe. They gave out awards to the kids. Super cool. And then Brandon shows up at the end, and these kids went nuts.
I bet they did, man.
Oh, they went insane. Brandon walked out, and these kids acted like they just saw Superman. Which, I mean, he kind of is Superman in a sense.
Man.
But no, it was super cool. I think the craziest part, and I'm sure you were going to ask me what the craziest part was.
What's the craziest part?
The craziest part is I think I signed more autographs in a day than I've ever had to write my name. It was
That's
the crazy.
A lot.
It was the craziest thing. I've always had to here and there sign things. Like if last year when I was in St. Louis, a kid recognized me. He's like, "Hey, can you sign my ball?"
Of course.
I signed it I immediately asked them right before I sign. I go, "Hey, are you sure?" Because this ball's about to lose value.
It's a good ball.
It's a good ball. Did you realize you have this ball signed by Adam Wainwright too? Are you sure?
He had Wainwright on there.
I actually don't know who it was,
Okay.
but whoever it was more valuable than that ball.
In your
lost.
estimation.
The ball lost. Every ball that I signed that day lost value, but the kids were happy. But no, it was just crazy because to be outside, I get recognized in Texas, sure, that makes sense. But to be recognized outside of Texas, in somewhere like New York, is nuts.
Kind of crazy.
And sure, the event was all the kids knew they were getting Bruce Bolt, but what do they care about me, right? I'd care about the gloves if I were them, but they all came and got my autograph. It was wild.
I'm noticing a trend. Here, Bear. It seems like everywhere you go, there's more gloves to give, man.
Yeah.
So all of these trips are oriented, it's around, it's Bruce Bolt associated, affiliate, partnership, players, and then there's abundant gloves that you're giving out there.
Yeah.
That's an incredible opportunity. It had to be an awesome thing to see.
No, it's super cool. Yeah, no, they all got their gloves, they all put them on, then they'd have me sign them, or sign their hat, or sign their shirt, sign a ball. So it was cool. Brandon, obviously, I said Brandon showed up. He talked to the kids for a little bit. He got a picture with the kids who won their awards. I went and met him in the underground concourse and talked to him for a little bit. We actually started talking about his new glove.
Oh.
For next year.
Oh.
Yeah.
The new Nimmo glove.
The new Nimmo glove. So
a little teaser there.
It might be red, white, and blue. It might be pink, black, and red. Who knows? There's a lot of options.
Hard to say.
You
don't want to give us any deets right now,
no.
do you? That's on the DL.
No deets yet.
And after New York, you're coming home. There's nowhere else to go. There's no more gloves to give. There's no more players to see. We're wrapping it up. It's done, right? Is that right?
We wrapped it up for about a week. I came home. I shot a little bit of content with you and Carson.
Yes, you did.
Went to San Diego on August 3rd.
Let's go San Diego or San Diego?
San Diego.
And what happened in San Diego?
So San Diego, now you got me saying San Diego. San Diego was the area code games.
Yes.
Yes. So the top high school prospects in the nation. I went up in between the underclass and upper class games. I got there a day before the underclass finished and the day before all the upperclassmen showed up. But basically, with area code, the reason I was there in the first place, I didn't just go to watch these kids play. They were all wearing Bruce Bolt, which is incredible.
Love to see it.
Again, another event which I never, if you would ask me in 2020 if this was something we were doing, I would have said you're crazy.
Can we just let me just ask? Isn't that cool, man? How does that feel when you roll up? You're at the NECBL. You're going to these giveaways in Chicago and New York, and the kids are putting them on. You roll up to the area code games, and you see the bolts everywhere. How does that make you feel, bro?
I mean, it makes you feel pretty good, considering the fact that I was 17 years old when we got our first prototypes and first gloves, and I was like having to ask people and be like, please, can you just wear them? To now, like, people want to wear them, and like obviously we sponsored the event, but they all wanted to wear them. Obviously, if you're asked to wear something, you don't have to wear it if you really don't want to. But these kids, they all seem to really like enjoy the brand, and it's really cool because I was there, so I got to talk to all of them.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was cool. But we also had our head of pro player engagement, Mark. Mark came.
He flew out.
He got to meet with all these high school kids who are potentially getting drafted in the coming year, 2 years. So he got to meet with all of them. There were a whole bunch of agents there, so that was good for him to get to talk to a whole bunch of people. But yeah, no, it was really cool. So I think the first day there, it was just walking around meeting people. Second day there, same thing. Third day is when I handed out gear to the upperclassmen. So they all got leg guards, hand pads, elbow guards, sliding mitts, and gloves.
Bro, they got the hookup.
They got hooked up.
Wow.
Which was, it was cool.
Protective gloves. That's amazing.
Yeah, they got
sliding
hooked up.
mitts. Did you say sliding?
Sliding mitts.
Wow, they got the hookup.
Oh no, they got it all. I'm trying to think. Is there any? We didn't have sleeves there this year. But like they got all the protective.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And who knows? Some of those guys, they're in that camp. They may be in next year's draft, and then in the coming years. These guys may end up in the Hall of Fame. You just never know.
You never know. We actually saw a little bit of trickle over to because some of these kids went to Perfect Game like right after. They were all wearing Bruce Bolt still.
That's awesome.
So it was cool to see that like they still wanted to wear the gloves even after area code.
That's really cool.
No, if San Diego was probably the most like out of all the trips. Like I loved being in New York. That's fun to go and do those events for sure. It was unfortunate Chicago got rained out.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Boston was a lot of fun with our team. Me, Christy, Courtney, Kyle. That was a lot of fun. But like San Diego,
it's hard to beat San Diego.
You got beaches, you got
La
good
Jolla.
Food. Yeah, exactly. But
Fish
I went
tacos.
I actually didn't have to even be there until the 5th. I went up 2 days early.
Oh.
Yeah.
For just a little vacay time.
I almost forgot to mention we went to a Padres game. Padres Dodgers.
Really? Mm-hmm. Did we have any guys there rocking the Bolts?
No Bolts on field, Padres Dodgers. But still a fun game. Dodgers took it.
I would like to go to a game in Dodger Stadium.
Well, it was.
I guess you were in.
We were in San Diego. It was Petco.
It's Petco.
Dodger Stadium is cool though.
I've never been there.
I was there when I was like 12.
Actually, I'm going to a Padres game.
Really?
Very soon.
Well.
In San Diego.
San Diego's a fun place.
What I love about this is that of course I just like hearing about what you get to do. I'm glad you got to go to all these cool places and meet these people. But I love too that in each place you're giving away the Bolts. You're getting the Bolts in the hands of players from the whole spectrum. Mm-hmm. From Little League all the way up.
All the way up to the top prospects.
That's a really awesome thing.
Yeah. So hopefully we can do more of the glove giveaways like we did in New York though next year. Hoping that we can maybe bring on a couple more signature guys. We weren't able to. We'll see if we can do it with Harrison still this year. It's kind of hard with him being sent over to Cincy, but we might do something end of the year because he's from New York. We might do something with one of his local little leagues.
Very cool.
But yeah, no, it's fun. It's a fun experience to get to do that and give away gloves.
Well, Bear, personally, I'm happy that you're back. It's better at HQ when you're here.
Yeah. Work gets done when I'm here. No, I'm kidding.
I
feel like less work gets done when I'm here.
I still do things when you're not around. I still do a few things when you're not around.
I know you do.
I appreciate that for you saying that you know that. And I'm happy that you're back. More events and such to come. Maybe Chicago will get rescheduled. We don't know. But more to come in general in the coming year.
Yep. Nailed it.
Thanks for joining us on the pod, my guy. I know you're a busy man. You got more things to do. Thanks to all our listeners for tuning in. And you know what? While you're here, why don't you subscribe? You should subscribe.
That's probably a good idea.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
If this is YouTube, just hit the button. If you're listening on Apple or on Spotify, hit the button. Subscribe, like,
There's a subscribe button.
comment. There's got to be.
I think it's follow.
It's follow on Spotify.
I think it might be follow.
It's follow. Maybe it's follow. Whatever the button is, hit the button.
Click it.
Give us a rating. 5 stars only. Appreciate that.
Or give your honest opinion.
Okay, fair enough.
It's democracy.
Fair
We're not a
enough.
dictatorship.
Fair enough. Yeah, honest opinion. We'll take it. And tune in next time. Thanks.